But yeah, Layne, you've seen a little bit of what we do?
Yeah, I've watched I think all the episodes.
Whoa.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, there's like 4 or 5 or
Something like that.
Yeah.
I think you might be our most consistent viewer.
Yeah, probably.
Thank you for that.
So yeah, let's get into it.
Hey, what's up?
Hey Layne, welcome into the gamer hole, man. Pleasure to have you.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Layne Pavoggi, everybody.
Hey. How's it going, everyone? I feel great. I feel wonderful. I'm very excited to be here.
I've known Layne for an extended period of time. We met each other like 2017 TwitchCon. That's a whole nother long story. But the dude's got a big background in all sorts of online media and other stuff. So we're here to talk to him about it. Get a little bit of intel.
It's true. I've been a digital media professional for almost 15 years now, so I know my shit.
And you've worked with some big names too.
Yeah, give us a background, Layne. I think this is something that I think a lot of people don't know about when they step into your stream. Like, this is a legitimate, qualified man, not just some guy sitting in his basement.
I wanted to make movies. So I dropped out of college when I was around 20 years old, and I moved to LA. And I thought you just like walked in, you made movies. This is in 2007 or something. So there was no, YouTube was just kind of starting, but people weren't making money on YouTube. So I worked as a sound guy in LA for about 3 years. But January 2010, I answered a Craigslist ad to Fine Brothers. The Fine Bros. You guys know the Fine Bros? Like Kids React and all this? That was way before Kids React, but they were starting this thing called The Station, which is like old school YouTube. One of the first collab channels on YouTube. I didn't know shit about it. Like I was still in the mindset of making movies and stuff. Anyways, they were looking to hire someone that would just do all their shit and not pay them any money. So I was their dude because they were going to call me. I was perfect for it. They call me a director, right? So I was like, fuck, yeah, as long as I'm getting called a director, I don't care. So I get hired onto this team of like 6 people. We just spend all day, every day working $500. We all live together, or $500 a month. We all live together and just made shit, man, made YouTube videos. And we did that, and the company just kept growing. It became Maker Studios, which Maker Studios was a big MCN back. It's kind of like Full Screen, or almost like Rooster Teeth used to kind of do an MCN, or Machinima. A lot of MCNs were a big thing back then. Maker was one of the first. And I was just a part of that team, and we grew. We ended up getting bought by Disney. I worked the entire time with the same title, which was just director. I never got demoted or promoted. It was just
you went in for the director title and you kept it.
You should have worked your way up
high, though. That's great.
Yeah.
Isn't director like the best title though? Like pretty much.
You would think, but it's creative title, and like no one gives, like everyone wants to be a creative. So like it's better to have like executive, like director of production. Or something like that. Okay. You know what I mean?
Make it longer.
Vague director.
Yeah. Vague director title. It's not really the greatest, you know?
Yeah. Okay.
But anyways, it blew up, man, and it became Disney. And I started working on sets, like filming, like I filmed all of Bart Baker's parody music videos. If you guys know Bart Baker, if you watch music or into music, then you've definitely accidentally clicked on at least one Bart Baker music video. He always had all these schemes where like he would name his video the same title as the actual video and put parody last so that people would click on it thinking it was the real video. Anyways, they were crazy, man. They were like 50-person sets, you know, the budgets were like $200,000. Like it was crazy. The stuff we got into at Maker Studios, like the amount of money that was being put into these YouTube productions was absolutely insane once we got bought by Disney. But I worked there forever, and then in 2017 it started to dwindle down, or the company got dissolved. Some of us got fired, some of us left. It just became a totally different thing. Like Maker Studios doesn't exist anymore. I was part of a layoff, but it was very late in the game.
Sorry,
yeah, no problem. Hey, we're not here to be. It's okay, because that's when I met Decky. That's when I met Decky, this motherfucker, and he showed me the way of the stream dream. I met him at TwitchCon, and I was just dabbling in streaming. And then Decky recognized me because I used to host a show for Maker for their gaming network way back in the day. Yeah, it was called the Game Station.
I remember that. Yeah,
I saw you in a video talking about a game, and Andrew WK was in it too.
Yeah, that was a Hot Pepper Gaming.
Yeah,
That was and Andrew.
Andrew WK?
Yeah, Andrew WK was there. Yeah, because he was there filming the episode after me, so we were all just kind of hanging out, like getting ready to shoot the video. Dude, yeah, he was fully white shirt, white pants.
Oh my god, yeah.
Kind of dirty, kind of maybe dirty.
Was there any blood coming out of his nose or anything like that?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, his elbows were all skinned and shit. Yeah. Your classic Andrew WK for sure. Everything you'd imagine, it was all there.
So that
just
was
drinking out of the bottle the whole time.
Yeah, that was during Maker, I'm assuming, right?
That was during Maker, yeah.
Okay.
That was a big part of my life. I joined that company when I was 23 years old, and I left when I was almost 31. My entire 20s were taken up at that company. And I bled for that company, man. Like I worked my ass off so hard, and I just believed in it so much, and I loved it, dude. It was like a little family of people just making stuff. And I was there from the beginning, and I saw it become this international huge thing, and then I saw it all blow up in everyone's face. And I ended up getting fired by some dude that didn't even know my name. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's the whole classic story, dude. I went through it. Like,
hey,
it's crazy.
That's showbiz, baby.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's a pleasure to have you on the show.
Yeah.
And your experience working with them really shows on your stream. You have the most incredible stream I've ever seen. Like the amount of
second to none. It really is.
Yeah.
It really is. Like I'm not yanking your leg or whatever people say.
Whatever the young hip kids say,
Yeah.
that's from 40 years ago.
Whatever.
Yeah.
It really is something else, man. It's something special. And like, as soon as I think Kings told me about your channel, but ever since then, boom, instant follow, big fan, love what you do. So just gotta tell you that because I'm a big fan and I'm brutally honest. So,
that makes me feel very nice. Thank you, Aka. And yeah, I've known Kings and Decky forever, and it's always nice seeing them pop in. And Decky, I feel like Kings, we met through Decky, yeah?
Yeah, I think so. I think it was before the podcast you guys did together, like right before that.
Yeah.
And then I would listen to all the podcasts and watch your stuff, and
Yeah, man, that's what's fun for me. Like, I like video and production, magic. I like magic tricks and shit. That's what makes it fun. Like, I used to have this thing because I grinded out, I was like all about streaming for 3 years. I was inspired by Decky here. I had this thing where I was like, every stream I do, I have to do something better, like make something more. Even if it's changing the font on my stupid alert that's been bugging me, like it's always adjusting up a little bit. And I was like, eventually I'll have like this dope stream. And I think it got pretty cool. Like, I'm like, it flows well, and I got Mike, my sock, and doing my magic tricks and shit.
Can we just talk about Mike?
Woo!
Yeah.
And it goes like, woo, woo.
Oh yeah.
Woo.
Yeah.
Oui, baby.
Yeah.
You really have to see it to be able to understand a lot of what we're talking about. But a lot of people always thought, or like when he brings in Bad Boy Blaine or whatever, like puts on his sunglasses and stuff, people never know when it's actually Layne really quickly putting on sunglasses on cam or if it's like a pre-recorded thing. I've seen people like argue about it all the time, which is like, that's what you want. You don't know if it's a pre-recorded thing or it's actually happening.
Yeah, well, this shit, like live streaming, I think is in its infancy. And I think it's kind of like next level entertainment, like engaging with people. I think that's why I love Twitch, especially because I feel like people that stream have more of a connection to their audience than let's say someone that streams on Facebook for whatever reason. I think it's probably a cultural thing. I love the technology so much and the platform. I just became engrossed with it,
The amount of stuff you have plugged into that OBS, like, do you have like a switchboard with like,
you have to have foot
how
pedals
many
that
buttons?
change, right?
No, I got a Stream Deck.
Wait, do you have foot
Just
pedals
Stream
that
Deck.
switch or no? Are you allowed to say?
Yeah, I do.
Okay,
I do.
I was gonna say
I do have pedals. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have pedals? I didn't know that.
I was gonna say you
pedals,
have to,
yeah.
dude.
How could he not?
With that
How
much
could
production
he not?
quality, he has to be able to do it without his hands.
I have like
my
2
mind.
fucking scenes and my stream deck is full. I don't know how that's possible.
That's
but-
what I was about to say. He's running on like the normal size Stream Deck. How many like files and folders and folders and folders do you have, Layne? Man, you're
It's
doing
all
something
just-
right.
It's simple shit, you know what I mean? Or it's just switching the scene. But that's like I had someone come in and like, I'm a new streamer. How am I supposed to do this? And what's the big deal? Like, literally, I've got a sock and I throw on sunglasses. Like, that's my production value. You know what I mean? It's like, you can get that shit, But it's just kind of like thinking about it it a little different, you know?
Yeah, it's
And
just-
plus,
you
I
put the
wouldn't
effort.
recommend bringing, you know, sock puppets maybe aren't the best thing for 2021 on a Twitch platform, you know, just if you need any advice.
I love the sock puppet. Come on.
You do? You
Yeah.
do?
Yeah, no, the whole it's bizarre because I don't know, I feel like it resonates with a kid inside all of us from like Mr. Rogers or something else.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It just
And
works.
it's just this different side of Twitch that you don't see.
Well, streaming, I mean, everyone here streams, and despite hanging out with like a whole group of people in chat, you feel siloed a little bit. You know, a little lonely.
Mhm.
Not lonely, but just siloed. Like sometimes you wish you had a friend. Like that's why I think this is really cool. Like we're all sitting here talking. Like, this doesn't happen enough in the Twitch or streaming community, kind of hanging out with people talking about Twitch or, you know, just engaging with people directly. I play a lot of single player and stuff, so maybe not. But that's why I made Mike, so I have someone to talk to.
Can we bring him out real quick just for the gamer hole?
Oh, there we go.
Hey, what the hell are you doing there, Mike? Hey.
Normally, so he's got his own camera. That
Yeah,
makes
Yeah.
and it's so.
Yeah.
It's,
So like, where do you hold him? Where like you pick it up? Because are these secrets you're like willing to
Yeah,
discuss?
I mean, I like to think that Mike is my friend, you know, and he's my magical little friend. You know, I could send
We
a
can
picture
keep
of
it
my
going.
setup. but-
Not a
Yeah.
prop.
Yeah, he's my magic buddy, man. He's like, dude, sometimes I miss talking to Mike. If I haven't streamed in a while, I'm like, fuck, I miss Mike. Like, I miss seeing him. And when I see him, like when I'm streaming and I switch the camera to and I see him, it's weird. I just
That's
got
a
the
cool
chills
dude.
because I actually really do. He's a cool dude, and he's just like he understands me, and he just gets it, man. And like he's just someone I feel very comfortable with, and it's just nice having him there.
Which
Yeah.
you bring up streaming less. That's because of a reason.
New job, man. Yeah.
What-
Trust me,
what
I
all-
really
what
didn't
all-
want to, but
What all can you tell us about the new job?
it's totally open. I
Okay,
work
okay.
for Smosh Games specifically. Smosh is an old OG YouTube comedy troupe. You guys know Smosh, right?
Yeah.
They got bought out by Mythical, which is Rhett and Link's company. They got a deal with Twitch, and we're working with Twitch now, streaming on their platform. They hired me to kind of produce the whole channel. People would ask me if like I would do videos, or I almost got hired by other companies, but they were kind of more YouTube stuff. But I was like, fuck it. No, I like Twitch. I like live streaming. I want to do live streaming as my next thing, right? So when Smosh was starting a channel, someone actually recommended me. They're like, oh, you should hit up Layne. He's like all crazy about Twitch. So
But yeah, that was the big thing. Is like Smosh is doing a YouTube channel now, which is a pretty big deal that they're like moving over to that. First, Layne had the whole like maker background. Now he's on the Smosh thing. Like he's all over the place. That's why we needed to pick his brain.
it's really nuts because first of all, it's Twitch, and I have my idea being a UGC streamer, someone like all of us, where it's just a single person creating our own shit in our living room, right? There's that idea of Twitch, and then there's kind of like creating it for a company where you have talent that maybe you don't necessarily know the platform that well, and you're kind of having to show them while also appeasing them and making sure that it fits within the brand and it's what they want to do. And also, like, they're not just doing Twitch, they're shooting tens of videos every week as well. So how does that work with the schedule of the business? It's fucking wild, dude. It's hard. I'm not gonna lie, it's fucking hard, dude.
That's
And
like
like
a lot of pressure.
it's a lot of pressure, Aquaman. I'm like,
You're about to crack, dude.
dude, I'm like, you're
a lot
looking at him
easier when you're
yeah.
just dealing with yourself and your sock.
I'm fucking Humpty Dumpty, dude, and like I'm wobbling, dog, like on the wall for sure.
Man, I think literally, like as we were saying before, you're probably the most qualified person to do it. I'm not even talking about your like prior experience at Disney. I'm talking about like just from your own personal stream. So
Yeah,
that's really cool. Congrats,
Thanks.
dude, on the
Thank you.
on the gig.
Like I was saying before, I went hard on Twitch. It's Twitch is really hard. Like Twitch is a very hard platform to move and groove on, to grow on, you know?
Yeah.
And my first year streaming, I was like, okay, if I don't hit partner in the first year, I'm gonna say fuck it, I'm gonna get a job, you know? And that didn't, and then 3 years later, I'm like, shit, you know? So it was a good opportunity to get back in the, you know, business.
You're not gonna quit Twitch though, right?
No, I still stream Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays, but I stream much less. Like I used to, I mean, I used to stream twice a day, in the mornings and at nights,
Yeah.
for about 4 hours each. But now I stream 2 hours per stream, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Sundays. So much less. I just can't do it, dude. After I get home, I'm like so drained. I want to keep doing it, and I will keep doing it, but much less.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel
Twitch
that
is-
for sure.
It's grueling being live on Twitch, dude.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many things to keep track of, and I stink at that personally. Like, my multitask ability is in the fucking toilet. It's hard for me, man. I do 4-hour streams. That's like kind of my max. You know, on a good day, I get 4 hours. It's tough. Decky, I don't know how you do it. And Layne too, previously, like you did 4 hours and then took a break and then 4 more hours. Like that I get. Yeah. I think that's going to be what I do in the future as well. But Decky, that 10, 11 hours, holy
You see
fuck.
this content that I start bringing in after a while too. It's pretty brain dead. But enough of the Twitch, YouTube production side. We got to get to the real deal.
Yeah.
The real deal stuff.
Okay.
So they have a whole ample amount of questions that we ask everybody, which we're about to get into. This has nothing to do with streaming, YouTube, or anything. This is just about you, Layne.
I want to know, because you have extensive working with people and like personalities, Layne. What's the craziest thing you've seen from like someone you've worked with? You know, like what did they do? Like an antic or some sort of tick?
Yeah. I mean, like whenever anyone,
Layne.
I've got 2 stories.
Okay.
I got 2 stories. The first one is the lesser, and it happened more recently, but it was with Snoop Dogg. I was shooting a commercial for Rayman Legends or something for Ubisoft, and Snoop Dogg was in it. And I will say this, first off, you hear it's like celebrities like, he's an asshole in real life. No, he's just having a bad day. Right. Or he's just in a bad situation, or they're just in a bad situation that they don't really want to be in. I want to preface this story. I think Snoop Dogg's dope, and he's fucking Snoop Dogg. And this is not a showing of who he is as a person. Let me preface it with that, okay?
Perfect.
But anyways, Ubisoft, Rayman, we had this little script. It was pretty simple. Snoop's just sitting in a throne chair the whole time, and he sees Rayman, and it's like, you want to be a legend, and his kid's singing on a microphone. Pretty standard shit. Anyways, Snoop didn't know what the fuck he was doing, and he showed up 4 hours late, and because it was something that his manager kind of got him into, and he just had to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he had his whole entourage there. He sits in the chair. All right, what am I doing? I'm like, all right, Snoop, this is your line, this is your line, this is your line. He's like, cool. And I just sit here. I'm like, yeah, for now, until I put you in the green screen shirt that you're probably not going to want to do. But anyways, so we go. He does the chair thing. He starts getting pissed because he can't remember his lines. It's like, oh, cool. Go to the green room, Snoop. It's cool. And smoke a blunt or something. Yeah. Okay. Of course, he's smoking a blunt. But it's taking too long, right? And he comes out, and I give him this green screen shirt because we need to show just his head, and I wanted to key out his body. So he's wearing this goofy ass green screen shirt on this green screen, and he's smoking a blunt. And I'm like, Snoop, you got to get rid of the blunt because I can't key it out later. The smoke is fucking it up, And he's like, I'm going to finish my motherfucking blunt. And I'm like, all right, yeah, no, okay, no problem, And then I'm like, all right, cool, everyone, take 5, everybody, we got to smoke a blunt here, And so he's sitting there smoking his blunt, and he's like, you know what, fuck this. And he walks away. He goes into this green room. He's like, fuck this shit, man. And then my producer goes over, and she's like, Snoop, come on, you have to get out there. We got to finish the shoot. We only have half an hour left. And he's like, man, I left my mama's house. That's why I don't have no bitches telling me what to do. If I wanted to have a bitch tell me what to do, I would have stayed at my mama's house. And he's all fucking yelling and throwing a fit. It's fucking wild. Because it created all this tension on set. You can only imagine.
Yeah.
And everyone
I would be terrified.
I was angry. Yeah.
Yeah. And then so everyone, of course, is staring at me like, okay, so what do we do now? Like director,
and it's at that point where you're like, I don't want the director tag anymore. Can you please drop me down a little bit?
I basically just said, fuck it, and we just took pictures of them, and the commercial turned out pretty shitty. But that was one of the more memorable antics that I faced. It was with Snoop. He was having a bad day. I definitely don't think he's a bad dude. I love him, because we worked with him. I actually worked with him afterwards on his show a lot, and he's a cool dude. He just was put in a situation he didn't know what's up, and he got angry, because he was being told what to do, stuff he didn't know what was going on.
That's fair.
And I'm all excited. I go on to set that morning, and I'm all excited because I'm shooting, I'm shooting with Snoop Dogg, and we get to do this video. And then all of a sudden, I have 8 hours with Snoop Dogg to make this awesome commercial turned into 4 hours because he was late, you know?
Mhm.
And then it's a lot of pressure, man. Entertainment industry. Go to school, kids.
Yeah.
Be
Yeah.
an engineer or some shit, you know? That's my like most intense moment. It sticks in my mind because I was freaking out the time, you know? It was like I'm probably traumatized by it a little bit, you know?
But I want to know, what's your worst injury?
Yeah.
My worst injury?
Yeah.
Oh, I broke my elbow hunting Sasquatch on Shay Carl's ranch, who's another OG YouTuber guy, vlog, riding a dirt bike.
Wow.
That'll do it. Yeah.
I remember, I knew that you hunted Sasquatch.
Yeah.
I was not familiar that you broke your elbow riding a dirt bike.
Yeah.
You just like crashed?
Dude, yeah, it was one of those mini bikes, and I went from dirt to pavement, and like the bike just went from under me.
Yeah,
It was like took it too fast, and I suck on motorcycles and shit. Like I don't know what I was doing.
Yeah.
I'm good. I like slow shit. I don't like fast stuff. I don't like being in. You know, I was never like a car junkie or something. Like motorcycles, fuck that. I'm cool with just being in my chair and like thinking about shit or whatever.
Listen, you're a smart guy. That's what we've all concluded
Yeah.
in our elder years. Honestly, I used to skateboard. I used to try and make like copy Jackass because that was the coolest shit when I was like, 14.
Yeah.
And I hurt myself a lot. And I've since realized I like it right here.
Yeah.
It's safer. I'm happy here.
Yep.
Don't push it. Don't push
Yeah.
your limits.
Yeah.
We're inside cats, all four of us. All right.
Oh, for sure. I had never broken a bone before either. So I thought I was fine. I didn't go to the hospital till the day after when I was like, oh, fuck, I can't move it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, like what? Like your actual, like this got moved or broken or like?
I guess, yeah. I don't really remember.
That's
It's
Do
still
you have full
clicks.
motion?
I have full motion, but it gets caught sometimes.
I dislocated mine.
Breaking stuff sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you leave the computer. You break your bones.
Mm-hmm.
on the Sasquatch thing. This was for a video series, correct?
Yeah, it was for
You just don't go
California
Sasquatch
on
near the time,
Sasquatch. Yeah.
So there's also a California on,
Oh,
which is
yeah.
another question, Layne. I know personally that you're a spooky boy believer.
Mm-hmm.
We've gotten into this with a lot of other guys on the podcast about like if they've had any weird experiences, if they believe the stuff, if you don't believe the stuff, you believe it, and you got a lot of experiences.
Yeah. I've had a ton of paranormal experiences, that what you would call paranormal experiences, but I'm still a skeptic in a way. Like me, I'm not a religious person. Like I don't follow a religion, but I'm definitely not someone that will say it's wrong, because I'm like, maybe it is true, but maybe there's some other, it's just, I don't believe exactly what's written down. Same with ghosts. Like, I don't know if I believe if it's like a ghost, maybe it's your own mind. Your mind's so powerful. Maybe you're projecting, like some shit. But I definitely I spent a week hunting ghosts, most scary or haunted places in California. And we spent the night and we did the EVPs or all the stuff you see on the shows. But I actually had an experience at TwitchCon 2018.
TwitchCon's haunted?
The ship?
TwitchCon might be haunted. Yeah.
You heard it here first.
TwitchCon's haunted, everyone.
What a headline. That's what we're gonna call this video.
Yeah, dude. It was the one that was in San Jose. That was 2018, right? Yeah, San Jose is home to the Winchester Mystery House, which is like a pretty famous haunted place, right? On Saturday night or Sunday night, we decided to go with Who is Chelsea. Who is Chelsea was going with her mom. And so me and Tiger Mom, we decided, okay, yeah, let's go. It was near Halloween, so they kind of spookified it up. There's all these ghouls around the corner and shit, like popping out and scaring you. And I was like, this kind of sucks, I wanted to go into the legit, like the Winchester Mystery House is already cool enough. I don't need, some guy with a skeleton mask, like coming throwing fake worms at me, Yeah. So I stared down a hallway, like a deep, dark hallway. And in my mind, I said, if there's anything here, I welcome you. Come and show yourself to me. I went to that place for an adventure. And what I got was like a fake adventure. Like I wanted the real deal, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like I'd always kind of romanticized that place in my mind. And I was very disappointed when I showed up due to the circumstance of it being near Halloween. So I wanted that experience. Anyways, so that night, I'm going to bed and I have a nightmare of this old woman, just like this old woman. She was just kept staring at me. And I woke up.
In your like hotel or back at the house?
In the hotel. So we're back in the hotel. I'm sleeping. I wake
but
up.
in your dream was the old lady in the hotel room.
Oh, she was like, yeah, just in a void, you know?
Okay.
In no particular place. I wake up like hyperventilating. I'm in the hotel room. I'm, Tiger Mom's there. I'm awake. I'm not sleeping, right? I close my eyes right away. Her face is right in my mental image. I could not close my eyes without seeing the image of this woman's face, like staring directly at me, like almost getting more and more intense. And it got so intense that it was almost like even when my eyes were open, I saw her. And I was like, what the fuck? And I was like starting to freak out, Like I even woke up Tiger Mom, like, I can't, this lady's face is in my mind, is in my head. I can't stop seeing her. Like, fuck. And she's like, go to sleep. And I'm like, oh, I'm freaking out. I'm sweating. And like every time I close my eyes, she's just staring at me. And so I literally had to think, like, surround myself in like a white light and be like, please go away. Like, you're not welcome in here anymore. Like, go away. You're not welcome here anymore. Go away. You're not welcome here anymore. And then she finally went away.
That is fucked.
It's fucked, right? So, But I'm thinking, so what is that? Is that a paranormal experience, or is that my own will? Is that my own thing?
The one I told this story already, but I'm going to tell it to you because my experience, my like one of two paranormal experiences was almost exactly like that. I told you guys about it, right? Like, sorry to waste the time on it, but you'll remember as soon as I tell it. I was sleeping, right? I was laying on my back, and in my dream, this really white but distinct just figure, like a face, was coming towards me like this, like right towards my face. And it was unsettling and it was scary. So I woke up, I opened my eyes, and I still saw him there.
Wow.
Hovering above me, face to face. Yeah. And I just started like wailing at him because I was fucking scared. He was hovering above me, above my bed. And it's kind of like what happened to you. And like, as soon as I started thrashing and stuff, he dissipated. And, I chalked it up to like, oh, I had like a dream hangover kind of thing. Like, I still could see it. Similar vibe there.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, and so like, I think your mind is, our minds are so crazy powerful. We don't even understand them, and it's like, who knows what the fuck they're capable of. So that's why like paranormal, I'm like, do I believe in it? Like, yeah, I do, but I believe it's kind of something that we don't understand.
Yeah, right. It's just interesting. I love to talk about it. I love to hear people's stories about it. I don't welcome it. Like, I don't want this.
That's like, let me go into a haunted area and welcome in the spirits here.
Yeah.
I mean, it worked. And I was being very legit, like I was being very true to myself, like in kind of summoning something. Like I was looking down the hall, and with all my intent, I was like, you're welcome to like join me. I've never fucking done that before. Not before or after.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it again. Yeah.
Yeah.
You were influenced to do that. Because I would never fucking do that. Fuck that.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah,
Maybe.
That's crazy.
In the California on Ghost video, there's the old lady in the rocking chair one where she gets like possessed. You've talked about that. You said that was not fake stuff.
I mean, you can see it in the video. We saw some lady get possessed,
and like you stand by, like, you don't think she was faking that shit.
Well, I do think. Okay, so yes, I think she was faking it, but she never said she faked it, and she did the whole thing. Like, for someone to be so brave to be on cameras, they saw Kasim's viewership and knew millions of people were going to see it and all this stuff, and then to go and put on this character. That's such a hard choice to do. Well, and she did it for like 30 minutes and then broke out of it out of nowhere,
She wanted to be on the show.
Yeah, that's true. No, I don't think she was for real, but I'll just say this. She never said she was putting it on, right?
Yeah.
And real quick, I have a story from that too. And it made me believe it even more, because this is why I think it's might have been a little bit more paranormal. Even if it was just like an inkling of something, but she, as someone that takes that stuff in, someone that can relate to the ghosts or whatever, or someone like a medium or a psychic, someone that has more connection, maybe she emphasized it a little bit or pushed it further than it was for real, right? Anyways, this woman, we have this experience and then we're driving away. We're going to our next location. It's the day after. We had a 5-hour drive. 2 hours into the drive, I get a phone call from a number that I don't know. And I don't answer it because I don't answer this. I get a voicemail from someone that I grew up with when I was 8 years old, living in Los Angeles with my pops, our roommate, his best friend. They went to college together. We all lived in the same house in Los Angeles. Anyways, I haven't talked to this guy in 10 years. He leaves me this voicemail and he says, Layne, I called your dad. I had to contact you because I had this awful nightmare that this brunette, crazy woman was doing bad shit to you.
Whoa.
That's creepy as shit. Yeah.
And I called him right back. I was like, Robert, I just had this crazy experience. I spent a night in a haunted cabin with this medium. Maria Laguna Salas is her name. I still remember her name. And she got possessed and it was a wild time. And the fact that you called me right now is blowing my mind.
Damn.
That is creepy. Yeah, that's crazy. See, I knew Layne was going to have all the good stories for this shit. I was so excited about this.
Yeah, I had forgot about that one. Yeah.
You probably got to do so many cool things like that with that job. That sounds like a dream, honestly. Damn,
It was
scary.
It was awesome, man. With PewDiePie, I shot a whole thing for As Above, So Below, that movie. I shot in the Paris catacombs. For a week, I was down there building this like custom content house for PewDiePie in the Paris catacombs.
I would never go down there. Fuck
Dude,
that.
yeah.
I did last year. It was amazing.
Yeah.
You went in there?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I was in Paris last year, and that was like biggest thing on my fucking to-do list. I was like, I'm hitting up the catacombs.
Hell
and it was like I was expecting a lot of skulls. That is way longer, way bigger, and way more skulls than I ever imagined in my life. It is insane. Everything that you like see in like the videos, but just times 10.
Yeah, they say it's one of the most haunted places, but
Any other paranormal experiences you'd like to share before we move on? I feel like you have more.
I had one really crazy one when I was a kid. This one's like kind of funky to talk about because it's just weird. So
You could skip it if you want.
no, I was in 8th grade and I was sleeping. Basically, I woke up and there was someone at the edge of my bed, like leaning over me. And I was like, what the fuck? And then when they noticed that I noticed them, they kind of backed out really fast, like sporadic, you know? I couldn't sleep. You know, I was stuck. I could not move, you know? I thought about calling out for my pops, but at the same time, I thought it might have been him. You know what I mean? I was like, what the fuck? And it's so vivid. Like I can think of I can relive the moment, the feeling. And
Do you have like proper like sleep paralysis? Like you couldn't move?
I think I did have sleep paralysis. Yeah.
That's what it sounds like.
It kind of freaks me out, that one, because I went to school the next day and up the street, someone had committed suicide. Someone in my grade.
Oh.
Yeah. So it was pretty wild. Like
that night?
Mhm.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so it's just this kind of funny feeling. He was kind of a bully, and I was kind of like a bullied kid when I was growing up. He would always fuck with me, you know? And like I always hated, you know? Like when we were doing the school singing thing, like 2 weeks before that, he was kicking me like during the stage play. He was in the second row and I was in the first row of like this singing thing, and he was on the upper ledge and he kept kicking me in the back. Fucking hated it, you know? That kid ended up committing suicide. And then he was like, that night I had that weird paranormal experience. And I was just like, what the like,
you know, they say sleep paralysis. They're like, oh, you'll see demons at the foot of your bed or like giant spiders and whatever the fuck it is. Like, I think that's the ghost is doing that to you. You know what I mean? I feel like it could be that. Like, who says it's like this thing, you know, this sleep paralysis thing? It could just be like, that's what these kinds of spirits do. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like they make it so you can't move and they're like fucking with you, you know?
Yeah.
It could be that. I think of that shit sometimes. I don't know.
I can totally see that.
Really don't
like a
want to sleep
dementor.
Pseudo actually told me about how to control your dreams. What do they call it? Where you can control yourself.
Oh yeah.
Lucid dreaming. Pseudo is like every time, because we were talking about lucid dreaming. He was in my chat and he said every time you walk through a door, look at your hand and say, "I'm not sleeping." Like, just do that in regular life. You'll catch yourself in your dream walking through a door, and you'll catch yourself saying it. And at that moment, you're kind of starting to control your dream.
Mm.
You're starting to become more aware within your dream. And he's like, yeah, it's a really good way if you want to get into lucid dreaming. You know, every time in real life you walk through a door, say, I'm not sleeping. And I was like, why'd you stop? Like, that sounds awesome. And he's like, dude, because it causes sleep paralysis. Like, you know, like once you get into that, like you'll start waking up more with like sleep paralysis, and it like really messes you up.
I think I somewhat lucid dream, but it's actually just much more pathetic than that. I think I am able to sometimes, like in a video game, if I don't like a situation, I can like hit pause and just like say like end or like quit the game and like just start dreaming about something else. I think that's just from playing a lot of video games, though.
Yeah, like when a lot of people, whenever you die or something in a dream, you wake up. My thing is, before I ever die, it would be an error message that comes up on like Windows. Wake up and I'm like, yes. Yeah,
Wow.
That happened all the time. It's always just like a little like little box that pops up. It's like, you want to wake up? I'm like, yeah, dude, 'cause I'm dying right now.
Honestly, like sleeping scares the shit out of me personally.
Whoa.
Only sometimes. Like this is gonna piss people off. But to me, like surrendering your consciousness like that is kind of like frightening. I don't know why.
Well, yeah.
Wow.
I'm in the same
I don't
boat.
like lack of control, and like not being awake is like the least control you'll ever have. Like, and it's just weird. It's just a weird concept to me, and my brain doesn't like it that much. I still do it every night because I get fucking tired.
Yeah.
But the whole idea of it is really fucking weird to me.
That's I've never thought about it like that. That's a hell of a take. Wow.
I would hate to fuck up your sleep or whatever.
I know, right? Yeah.
I have like OCD a little bit of anxiety, and like when that shit is acting up, I think of sleep like negatively. And like when I'm calm and like then it's like, okay, you know, that sounds kind of nice to go to sleep for a little while, but it just depends how big of a troll my brain is that day.
Yeah,
So,
wow. Surrendering your consciousness like for that moment.
I just don't sleep because it's a waste of time, but like that's some
that too.
Shit, Aqua.
Yeah, no, like you have no control.
I haven't had a good dream since 2010, I think.
Oh wow.
So-
Wow. Do you remember that good dream?
No, I don't.
Wow.
I just remember when
That's a good one.
I just remember when I started getting nightmares like every night for a while. So
Yeah, I can totally see that if you have nightmares, like just being like, fuck, I don't want to go back to that world.
Exactly,
Because you spend
yeah.
a third of your life sleeping, like in that dream world. Like it's almost as relevant as your waking world, right? So, you know, pretty fucked if you don't enjoy it.
right.
I don't remember my dreams usually, but if I do remember, it's usually something bad.
Usually my dreams are boring as fuck. It's just like this, you know, or like playing, it's about a video game I've been playing a lot or whatever. They're just so
Yeah,
It's
I know.
the dream, Aqua. That's what you want. That's what you, the dream of the dreams.
I'm not complaining. I'm gaming all the time.
And he hates his sleep. What about your grossest experience, Aqua? Gross is a pretty broad term. You can not Aqua, Layne. You can take this wherever you want. Yeah. What is the more disgusting experience of your life? Something where you're just like, that was super disgusting. It's hard to think about usually right off the bat, but yeah.
Right.
We can come back to that one. If you'd prefer to share your most embarrassing memory, you could always do that too.
Yeah, we love those.
Wow.
What
My stream.
options?
I'm trying to think of this grossest experience in my life. I've never had anyone ask me that. I hate needles. I like hate needles. When I was a kid, the doctor was giving me a booster shot and I broke the needle on my ass when I was like a baby. So it's like, I think it's something within me that just hates them, you know? So anyways, I had to get this like mole removed on my back right here. Like a little, you know, that could have been skin cancer or whatever. So, you know, the doctor's like, oh, it's a small operation. We're going to use a knife. You know, I give a little, you know, numbing thing. And I was like, how do you do the numbing thing? And then he's like, oh, we'll give you a shot. I'm like, oh yeah, that's going to be a problem, you know? And I was like 14 years old. He's like, really? It's just a little shot. And I was like, okay, yeah, sure. I was super nervous because the dude's got the scalpel on the side. It smells like fucking alcohol. I hate doctor's office in general.
Yeah.
And he pulls out the needle. Right when he does it, my whole body, like I break out in hives. Like hives all over my skin, all over my face. And then all of a sudden I'm just puking. Like I'm puking all over myself in the chair.
What?
It's fucking awful, dude. Yeah. And then I run to the bathroom, but just my skin and how sweaty I was, and just like there was throw up all over me. It was pretty brutal. And then I had to come back, and he gave me Valium when I was like a 14-year-old kid. I have a hilarious gross story. It didn't happen to me, but it happened to my friend as we were on our way to a Ren fair.
Please do tell, please.
Yeah, please.
Oh my gosh, that's one of my favorite stories of all time. Had to deal with childhood memories. My friend Steven, he's just a funny guy, and he spent the night because we were going to go to the Ren fair. We were probably 13 years old or something. We were going to the Ren fair the next day, so me, Ian, and Steven, we all had like slumber party. Oh, Ren fair next day. You can tell we were like super cool kids. My dad made breakfast that morning, and he made eggs. And I'll never forget. Steven's like, "Oh, your eggs are brown? Like, what are those brown eggs?" My dad's like, "Yeah, it's just brown eggs." He's like, "Oh, what are they? Like, what's up with them?" He's like, "No, they're just normal. It tastes the same. It's the same thing." He's like, "Oh, I've just never had brown eggs. I've never had brown eggs before." So we eat the eggs. We eat the eggs, and then we had this SUV, and my dad's driving. He had his girlfriend, and then we're three in the back, and we're going up. Driving up to this Ren fair, right? And Steven gets real quiet, and I turn to Steven. I look at him. He don't look so good. He's like looking a little sweaty.
Yeah.
He's looking a little sweaty, And I'm like, "Steven, you gonna be all right, dude?" And he's like, "No, I gotta pull over." Like in the same sentence, he just yaks all over himself, right? All over his shorts. My dad's like, "Oh fuck," This kid just puked all over himself. And he's like, "It'll be all right, Steve. It'll be all right, Steve. We just need to go to the gas station because my shorts are reversible."
Oh God.
My shorts are reversible. So we go to the gas station. Steven just wipes himself down and then reverses his shorts, right?
Problem solved.
Problem solved. We get back in the car. My dad's like, "What's the deal, man? Are the roads too windy?" And Steven just replies, It was the brown eggs, man. It was the brown eggs, Steve." It was funny, man.
I wonder if Steven's ever eaten brown eggs since then.
Probably not, man.
I was in the hospital like 8 days. Firstly, the whole time I was in the hospital, tons of needles poking me all the time, taking my blood every day, that kind of shit. But in order to be discharged, I was doing intravenous antibiotics, and they put a fucking tube from my arm all the way like into my body like that. And it stayed there for 6 weeks. And I had to give myself the needle wasn't going in and out, but I had you had just running through my body for 6 fucking weeks. It was fucking obnoxious and freaky, and it fucking bothered the shit out of me. Because they were like, "Okay, so you can't sleep on your side, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't lift anything. If it gets yanked, you're fucked. If it gets pushed in, you're fucked. Just be really fucking careful."
You can tell Decky's about to run out of that cockpit.
I'm sweating right now.
I'm cool with needles. Like, honestly, like I don't love them, but that was not good.
I can't imagine having something like a wire in you, and you could like feel it. Dude.
Well, you can't really feel it, to be honest, on the inside at least. But it just the thought of it was just enough,
All right, what was the embarrassing story?
Yeah, what was the embarrassing story?
I'm trying to think of embarrassing stories. Fuck. Like embarrassing story. I know some people have
we always have a hard time with this because I feel like the brain blocks it out.
Yeah.
That's probably what it is. I was gonna say I don't see myself as someone that gets that embarrassed about shit that often. What's something I was super embarrassed about? All right, I'll tell you an embarrassing story.
Pretty much what we're after. Yeah.
All right,
this is where we wanted to go.
To preface it, I grew up with my mom till I was 8. Then I moved with my dad to Los Angeles, and my dad kind of changed my life. I look up to him a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like I fucking love him. Like my dad's awesome, right? He taught me how to play baseball. My whole life taught me how to play baseball. I love baseball. That's a lie. I fucking hated baseball, but I love my dad who loved baseball. And I just wanted to play Age of Empires, dude. I didn't want to play baseball. And but I played, and I was decent. I thought, I was pretty good. I was never the best. I was never as good as he wanted me to be, like that type of thing, But I enjoyed it enough to keep playing, and I did enjoy it enough. Anyways, high school rolls around. Up until that point, baseball's free. You just sign the card, right, and you're in. But in high school, you have to do tryouts. My father taught me how to play baseball. Excited for me to do tryouts, right? First year, I go. I make it to the final round, but they put the list on the wall. You walk up to the list and you see if you made the team, right? This is my freshman year. Freshman year, walk up to that list in the final round, and I don't see my name, right? I didn't make the team.
Ooh.
So I go home, tell my pops, and he's like, don't worry. There's always next year. So then comes next year, and I'm fucking ready. Like I went picking up grounders and shit on the, on my off time, running. These kids must have been all-stars because, as hard as I worked sophomore year, I walked up to that list again. My name wasn't on it. Didn't make the team. The most embarrassing thing I've ever had to do in my life was walk up to my father on the sophomore year, look him in the eyes and say, Pops didn't make the team, man.
Was he disappointed, or did you feel bad afterwards, or was he like cool with it?
He's never spoken to me again.
That's odd though. I had a semi-similar thing. My dad's really into baseball, like overly into baseball. I was a pretty good athlete though when growing up, but I was like mainly soccer, but I played like baseball on the side. And I made it my freshman and sophomore year, but then my junior year.
Good for you.
Yeah, I know. I'm just bragging now. But my junior year, I had like a huge struggle. Like I think I went 0 for whatever. Like I wasn't doing that well. I just wasn't playing myself. Mostly because I was yelling at the coach a lot because the coach was, I thought he was an idiot and he just managed wrong. But my senior year, I thought the coach was leaving at the end of my junior year. Like he wasn't going to come back. So I literally like ripped into him at the end of my junior year. He came back my senior year. And one of the worst things is I went up to the coach and apologized to him. Like that was like wrong on me. I was just a hot-headed kid, like really sorry about that. I was cut anyways, and I had to go tell my dad that I got cut because I told the coach that he was like an idiot and all this other stuff my end of my junior year.
Wow.
And it was really embarrassing because I got cut. Not because I wasn't good enough, but because like I slumped and then I took it out on the coach.
Yeah.
And if you say some things, you don't get to come back the next year.
I definitely got cut because I just wasn't good enough. Yeah, for sure.
I tried out for the bowling team, and I never made it either because I pins the entire time. So I feel you there. Talk about disappointment, man. God.
Anyways, I don't know if that counts as. I know it's not me like shitting myself in front of school or whatever, but that was one of the most embarrassing. Like I was very embarrassed, like to tell my pops that. So I would say that's my most embarrassing moment.
Same thing happened to me with my driving test.
Oh really, dude? That's
Several tries.
Oh wow,
it was bullshit though, dude. What?
Yeah.
2 times were bullshit, and my third time I got it. But that shit was embarrassing. Like
everyone's like, "Oh, you got it? Like, how'd you do it?"
Yeah.
Fucking failed.
Tell all your friends, like, I'm going to get, and then like, I'll drive us around. It'll be so tight, like, like, and I come back, and you take the day off school to do it and everything, right?
Yeah.
And I come back the next day, and they're like, "Yeah, dude, what are we gonna do this weekend?" And I'm just like,
whatever we can walk to.
Didn't get it, dude. The first time I get in the car, the guy's, he's having a rough day. You could tell,
That's why it's always been fair, dude.
Yeah. He took one look at me and was like, I don't like you. And I was like, well, I don't like you either. Like we had that exchange like mentally with each other when we first started this. And he's like, all right, go down the road. It was a very wide road. No line in the middle. It could have been treated as a 2-lane road, but there was no line in the middle. So anyway, I'm going down the road. We pull up at the end. There's a stop sign. I'm kind of towards the left. I'm in the left lane, even though there weren't like really lanes. And he's like, okay, we're at the stop sign. He's like, okay, make a right. And I made a right. He didn't tell me that I was going to be making a right. And I made my right. And he just goes, whoa, whoa, whoa. You just made a right turn from the left lane? Fucking failed, bitch. And I failed.
Wow.
Dude, you would set that up for y'all.
That's an asshole move, man.
Bullshit.
Yeah. No, he just didn't like me.
You knew it
They have no reason
back when you were a teenager, though. He was
what?
like, this kid's rambunctious. He should not be driving.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, I had like long hair. I looked like a punk kid,
Yeah.
honestly. And he just didn't like me, and and he failed me.
Damn.
It's
Wow.
that bullshit.
Okay, that makes sense. That's like
The second
okay.
time I did the whole fucking test, and I was like, in my mind, I'm like, I'm crushing it. I fucking got it this time. This guy's, he's not really chatting much, but at least I don't get the vibe that he fucking hates me. I do the whole thing. He's like, parallel park. I parallel park. I even did that shit. And then he just goes, you failed. And I'm like, what? Are you serious? And I'm like, he's like, yeah, you failed. I'm like, why? And then he's like, he didn't even explain. He's just like, yeah, no, you just don't know how to drive. And I'm
That's so
Okay.
fucked up.
Wait, do you not get like a thing where they take points off or anything?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, I did, but it was fucking bullshit. Like I
Oh.
didn't do anything wrong. I drove, and then the third time I just did it again, and I was like expecting to fail because I was just driving, and I passed. So whatever. The first one I was taken advantage of. The second time I still don't know. Like it's like one of the greatest mysteries of the world, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
it's what we need to solve. Yeah, and that's what people need to get
Yeah.
on.
Sucks. I failed my first time too.
Yeah, it's the crushing feeling then with all your friends and your parents are like,
Yeah.
your parents want you to help with shit too. They're like, they could go be like, get some groceries, you little shit.
Yeah.
And they were like, what the fuck?
I know.
I don't know the
Yeah.
feeling. I passed with ease. I almost got a perfect
Wow.
score.
And you made the baseball
Yep,
team. We get
yep,
it. Keith.
I'm bragging today.
Golly.
You guys need to
What's it
start
like?
talking about things that I'm embarrassed about, so I can be the
Aqua, how do you? So for me, I'm known as someone that plays one game for I switch games so much. Like, do not follow my the game I'm playing, because as much as I say I'm going to play it forever, I'm not. I'm going to play it for 2 weeks, then stop fucking playing it forever. How do you? I want to know how do you enjoy playing these games, the same game for so long?
I'm going to let you in on a very big secret.
Okay.
I don't.
Oh.
I get burned out on games for sure. I don't stream them exclusively, but I've always kind of like had like a main game that I keep going back to. It used to be Rust. Now I guess it's Tarkov more or less. No, I mix it up. I do other stuff. I've always done other stuff, but I think I do focus games more than I'd like, and I just do it anyway because it's kind of my job. So
yeah.
And I never pick games to do that with that I don't like. Like I have like a deep love for these games. Don't get me wrong, but I would be lying if I told you I wasn't forcing it from time to time.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, Decky, I never got to tell you this, but the anime show, Decky did this anime show with Tiger Mom for SideQuest. I got to say, when I started, I became, I thought I had a fellow like anime hater, in this world, because I don't watch anime. I don't hate it, but I just don't even think about it. But then Decky became such a weeb after doing that show. He was like tweeting about anime like every second, like, character specific stuff. I was like, damn, I lost him. And I felt like I lost almost like a friend or something.
Was paid.
Yeah.
That's all that comes into it.
Yeah.
I will say this, starting off, since the anime show was taken down, I have not watched a single minute of anime.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
So,
You guys watch anime?
no.
I don't anymore. I watched it for a short time in college, but I haven't really watched anime in years.
During the anime show, though, I clearly do not enjoy anime, but I wanted to try and have an open mind, because the whole point of the show was there's a skeptic of anime who doesn't like it, and then there's a total weeb, Lisa, and she tries to convert me. So I didn't want to go in and just be like, no, I refuse, because that's going to kill the dynamic.
Yeah, you're right.
So I was like, I'll be open to it. So I tried to be open to it. But like I said,
very open.
I have not watched any.
I watched some of that, and Decky, it seemed like you were quite interested in the anime.
That's the only goddamn one, okay?
Okay, yeah. I kept telling Tiger, I was like, it's called
Gorgeous.
Skeptic's Guide to Anime. I was like, talking about, if you want someone that really dislikes anime, like, I gotta talk shit on cartoons and stuff forever, like, you should get rid of this Decky guy and have me on. And I was always kind of jealous. I'm like, Decky's got the cool job, like, doing this cool show, and it's my wife, and I can't even get a job. What the fuck?
You don't like anime?
I don't like cartoons in general. Like I don't like Pixar movies or anything.
Grumpy man.
Yeah.
Pixar. But thanks so much for joining us. Once again, check out Layne Pavoggi on Twitch. There's going to be a link below. Check out Smosh, dude. He's the man doing all that stuff with Smosh. So,
yeah, and I think their streams are turning out dope. Like even if you haven't watched Smosh since you were a kid, like the streams are good. It's almost got like a Smosh After Dark feel. Like it's not as kiddie as some of the stuff they do on YouTube. Yeah,
I'm gonna follow just because I know you're working on it now.
Oh yeah.
I'm a fan, what can I say? Yeah. But anyway, thank you.
Hey, thank you guys for having me. It was awesome.
Anytime.
You're welcome
anytime. Thank you so much for watching The Gamer Hole. Just a quick reminder, if you want to see some exclusive episodes, as well as behind the scenes and uncut versions of the episodes you see here on YouTube, or if you just want to support The Gamer Hole, check us out on Patreon. It's linked in the description below. Get all kinds of fun little perks in there. So thanks again, and we'll see you in the next episode of The Gamer Hole.